Okay guys, we're going to try this a little different. I'm going to write on the board as I'm talking, so hopefully you can hear me and I can also write a little bit clearer. This is review for your area and circumference of circles assessment. That is tomorrow. So let's just remember a few things. First of all, circles are a circle. You know that. It's all around the center of the circle, and the center is where this point D is. That's a center. So your radius comes from the center, and your diameter also has to go through the center. So it's important to remember that a radius is any line that goes from the center to the outside of the circle. You can have radius, radii is the plural form of it, all like that, but a diameter has to go all the way through the center, all the way across. And remember that we use 3.14 for pi, always. Okay? The difference between radius and diameter, radius is half of the diameter. So we know that if we had a circle with a diameter of 12 inches, that the radius would be what? Well, it would only be half of that, so half of 12 would be 6 inches. And because it takes 2 6 inches to make 12, therefore it takes 2 radius to make 1 diameter. Okay? How can I find diameter if I only have radius? Well, if you're given that the radius is 4 inches, all you have to do is multiply by 2 to get the diameter. What if I have diameter and I need radius? Sorry, I did that one backwards. That goes with that one. Diameter, if you have a diameter of 18, then you split it in half, and the radius would be 9. Okay, so that should be review. You should be really understanding those right now. All right, let's talk about the formulas. Remember our little song, pi r squared, sounds like area to me, and when I need circumference, I'll just use pi d. So let's find the area and the circumference of this pizza. Okay, first of all, let's do circumference. Circumference is the measure of the outside of the circle, so it's the distance around the circle. So pi r squared is how I find circumference. Sorry, back that. Pi d. I wrote it right, I said it wrong. Circumference equals pi times diameter. So we're not given a diameter here, we're just given a radius. So we have to do what to find the diameter? We have to do 5 plus 5, or 5 times 2. So our diameter is 10, and pi is, of course, 3.14. So multiply 3.14 times 10 to get your circumference. Pause the video if you need to. You should get 31.4 centimeters. Remember, it's not centimeters squared because we actually are just doing the distance around the circle, kind of like your measuring tape that we used the other day. Now, area is pi r squared. Now, originally we were given the radius, so we actually are going to use the radius in your area formula. So you plug in your numbers, and then you have to do the order of operations. So 5 to the second power is 5 times 5, which is 25. And then we're going to do 25 times 3.14. Pause the video if you need to catch up. And it is 78.5 or 78.5 centimeters squared. Okay? So you'll be asked to find the circumference and the area a lot on your assessment tomorrow. So make sure that you can do both. You need to know how to do both. Remember, this means actual square centimeters. So that's how many centimeters would fit inside. Square centimeters would fit inside the pizza. Okay, I think we're going to skip those. So let's see here. We have to find the diameter after we're given the circumference. So the circumference of this tire is 50.24 inches. And the question is, find the diameter and then find the area. So let's see, what's our circumference formula? Circumference equals pi d. Well, it gave me the circumference, but it did not give me the diameter. So I plug in pi, and look, what do we have? We have a one-step equation. You know how much we love one-step equations because they're so easy. All you have to do to get d by itself is divide by 3.14 on each side. And that cancels out your 3.14, leaving you with d. And when you divide that, you will get 16. So your diameter all the way across the tire is 16 inches. Okay? Pause it if you need to, or rewind it if you need to see that again. The next part of the question asks for the area. Now, our little jingle says pi r squared. Sounds like area to me. Pi r squared. There is not a d for diameter anywhere in that formula. So how do we find the radius? We've already talked about that. We need radius. If diameter is 16, that means that the radius is only half of that, which is 8 inches. We're going to plug in 8 inches for our radius. So that'll be 8 to the second power times 3.14. What's 8 times 8? That's 64 times 3.14. Pause the video if you need to. Make sure you are doing all of these problems with me because on your homework, that's what I'll check for. When you multiply that together, you get 296 hundredths inches squared. That's literally how many square inches would fit all across the inside of the tire. I hope that this was helpful. I hope that if you need more practice, you go back and watch the original notes from a few days ago. And if you need to watch this over and over again to practice, do that. Make sure you memorize your formulas. They will not be on the test. Good luck. Happy studying.